Welcome back to Game Day Radio. We're in the top of the ninth here in Game 1 of the 1908 World Series. 1 out and 2 men on for the visiting Chicago Cubs. They trail the Tigers by a score of 6-5. Johnny Evers was the first man to come to the plate in the ninth. He grounded out to first, then Frank Schulte singled into left center, and Frank Chance singled into center field. The next man up for the Cubs is third baseman Harry Steinfeldt. Harry is 1 for 2. He flied out to center to end the top of the first, then singled, drove in a run, and scored in the third, walked in the fifth, and hit a sac fly to center in the seventh to allow Evers to cross the plate for an unearned run. Ed Summers is ready to pitch. Here it comes. And it comes in low for ball one. Steinfeldt batting .241 in his third year with Chicago. World Series Game 1 is brought to you by the William Wrigley Jr. Company and Wrigley's patented spearmint chewing gum. Nothing goes with baseball quite like Wrigley's. Summers sets, winds up, and delivers a fastball right down the middle for a called strike. 1-1 the count now on Steinfeldt. 2 men on and 1 away for the Cubs. Frank Wildfire Schulte at second and Frank Chance at first. Our score 6-5 in favor of the Tigers. Ed Summers has struck out 2 and walked 1 since he entered the game in the third inning. Ed retakes the hill and throws the next one, which comes in high for a ball. 2-1. You could really see the seams on that one. Looked like a slider that just stayed high. Sort of a rainy and blustery day here in Detroit. Field conditions are certainly not what you'd expect for a World Series game. We've seen quite a few slips and slides out there today. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Steinfeldt muscles that one into shallow left field, and it's another Chicago single. Both base runners move up, and now the bases are full of Cubs. Schulte at third, Chance at second, and Steinfeldt, the runner, at first. Tight spot for the Tigers with the World Championship on the line. Let's see what strategy Detroit manager Huey Jennings has up his sleeve. Nobody throwing in a bullpen yet. Looks like they're going to stick with Summers. Bases loaded, 1 out, and the Tigers cling to a 1-run lead here in the top of the ninth inning of the opening game of the 1908 World Series. And now here's center fielder Solly Hoffman. Solly still in search of his first hit today. He's 0 for 3. Summers climbs the hill for the next pitch. He sets, goes into his windup, and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Summers just blew that ball right by him. Hoffman batting .243. He grounded out in the second, walked in the third, reached on a fielder's choice in the fifth, and grounded out again in the seventh. Summers ready to work, and the next pitch is a ball, high. The count moves to 1-1. The Cubs threatening in the top of the ninth. 1 away and the bases are loaded. Chicago trails Detroit by a score of 6-5. The go-ahead run in scoring position. Opening game of the World Series on the line. It just doesn't get any bigger than this for a pitcher. Summers sets himself, starts his windup. 1-1's the count. And that pitch comes in low and outside for a ball. 2-1 now on Hoffman. The pitcher Ed Summers now behind in the count, and with the bases loaded and only 1 out, that's the last place he wants to be. Each and every pitch a potential game changer. The entire season hangs in the balance. Hoffman back in the batter's box and ready to go. Ed retakes the hill, looks in for the sign from his catcher, and settles in for the delivery. Here it comes. And that pitch is in the dirt! Schmidt does a good job of staying in front of the ball. All the base runners stay put. 3-1 now the count on Hoffman. That could have been disastrous for the Tigers. A passed ball could allow the tying run to score. Boss Schmidt takes a quick jog out to the hill to talk to Summers and give him a chance to settle down and catch his breath before the next pitch. Steinfeldt at first, Chance at second, Schulte at third, Solly Hoffman the batter, and Joe Tinker the man on deck. Schmidt has settled back in behind the plate and now awaits the next offering from Summers. Here's the pitch. Line drive base hit into center field. Schulte scores easily. Chance rounds third, and he's going to score. Steinfeldt will be stopped at third, and Summers surrenders his 4th single in as many batters, and this time Solly Hoffman drives in 2 runs. The Cubs retake the lead. The score now 7-6. Hoffman showed great patience, worked the count, and then when he got his pitch, he made the most of it, sending a line drive to center that scored 2 big postseason runs. Next up, Shortstop, Joe Tinker. Tinker 1 for 4 so far today. He flied out in the second, reached on a fielder's choice in the third, grounded out in the fifth, and singled in the seventh. Summers starts his windup and throws the next one. Tinker squares up and shows bunt. He lays one down perfectly. Steinfeldt takes off from third. Schmidt hops up to field it, but he must have slipped in the mud in front of the plate. He can't make a play. Tinker is safe at first. Steinfeldt scores, and Hoffman advances to second. Everybody's safe. And now Chicago leads Detroit 8-6. The Cubs have plated 3 runs this inning and still only 1 out. Let's take another timeout, and when we come back, we'll see if Detroit can do anything to stop the rampaging Cubs. You're listening to Game 1 of the 1908 World Series on Game Day Radio.